Okay, so if Gojo hits the main expansion, both Naruto, Luffy, and Ichigo are going to be disappeared, right? We can all agree on that, right? But are they going to get caught by the main expansion? Why Gojo versus the big three isn't close.
Gojo Satoru versus the big three.
Let's get it!
Give me time to explain why Gojo is not as strong as people think, along with going
so is that on Team Gojo?
Since not only do we have the Gojo Glazers, but
hey, I ain't gonna lie, I'm one of the Gojo Glazers, but not because of his strength, but because of the way I think that nigga is 65. So I think I'm over here. My bad.
We have people who think that Jujutsu Kaisen unironically caps at Mach 3.
Mach 3!
Now, Gojo Satoru is regarded as the strongest modern sorcerer who's known for his infinity ability.
Nah, imagine getting caught in infinity is crazy. But I want to see how he explains it.
Infinity is essentially Gojo creating a space between him and his opponent where the closer they get to him, the further the distance will be. And he has this on passively. Originally, he didn't, but then he trained to have it on passively. And this is why people find Gojo to be so OP, or is regarded as one of the strongest anime characters ever, because you can't even hit, bro.
Nah, one of the strongest anime characters ever is a crazy statement to say about Gojo, but Jujutsu Kaisen characters are really not really strength-based. They're more hacked and abilities-based because of their domain expansion, and then like OP abilities. Like Gojo's freaking infinity, that's OP. He's not the strongest anime character, he just has an OP ability, which there are workarounds, but let's see if he talks about it.
He can't hit people while having this on, as the closer they get, the more distance it creates.
What?
So he's gonna have to turn it off if he wants to do
not fully true
damage to the big three. Along with this, he has abilities like red and blue, which destroy and pull anything towards its way, along with hollow purple, which is a combination of red and blue, which destroys anything in its path on a molecular level. But that's not even his best ability, which is the infinite void domain expansion. You see, if Gojo gets his domain off, he's gonna essentially have a guaranteed hit with his infinite void.
Okay, so if Gojo hits the main expansion, both Naruto, Luffy, and Ichigo are going to be disappeared, right? We can all agree on that, right? But are they going to get caught by the main expansion? No.
And this allows Gojo to overload information into his opponents and incapacitate them completely, which none of the big three, if I'm being honest, have an answer to if Gojo can somehow get this off.
Yeah, they're getting deleted.
How strong Gojo himself
he's not probably getting that off, most likely.
He's just straight up stated to be the strongest modern sorcerer, more than likely upscaling from characters like Yuki and Akari. If you think Gojo doesn't scale to Yuki and Akari, well, go talk to the author, not me.
Jump off a cliff.
He should upscale from characters like Yuki, who was able to create a perfect sphere black hole, which required energies that could destroy even planets.
Whoa, I have contentions with that. Saying Jujutsu Kaisen characters are planetary because Yuki created a black hole is kind of crazy.
And I know that sounds ridiculous,
but
to be honest, this is the only kind of good feat in JJJ. Everything else is basically just saying, well, Dagon can create an island and Jogo can create a mountain with their domain expansions. Which, I mean, for Gojo, it doesn't really matter, but domains themselves are somewhat of a hacks ability, more so than just straight up AP. But, you know, I'm going to get those nerds in the comments. Well, domains are actually created from the user's curse energy, and obviously the curse energy should scale to the user. Yeah, I get it. Point is, this is the best feat in JJK, so you know what? I'm just going to give Gojo the benefit of the doubt here. And like I said earlier, he should upscale from Akari, who's able to avoid a point-blank lightning blast to the face by sacrificing his arm.
Okay, creating a black hole and using an ability that is a black hole is two completely different things. She didn't create the black hole.
And that over Mach 4000 or in the massively hypersonic plus range.
Massively
and the planet calc might be pretty shaky, but honestly, this tier of power might not even be inconsistent for at least Gojo and Sukuna, since it's said that Sukuna can destroy the world.
Now, without any context, that can mean a couple of things. It can mean Sukuna can take over the world. I kind of misexplained, so here's me on this freaking voice. So we basically can mean a couple of things, and we can't just assume it's for destroying the world.
Again, I'm going to be giving Gojo the benefit of the doubt here.
Fine, just give him the benefit of the doubt.
Now, when talking about the big three and their scaling, I feel like it's very cut and dry, especially when regarding their endgame level powers. In both One Piece and Naruto, we have characters who Luffy and Naruto would both go on to surpass, who are capable of destroying planets to maybe even reaching those star level tiers.
If you don't think Luffy is stronger than Whitebeard, because I know people have contention with that. If you don't think Luffy is stronger than Whitebeard, and you're caught up to One Piece, I'm gonna ask you what's going on at home. Are you okay?
There's a power. Specifically, old Whitebeard in One Piece who'd be at least
especially in old Whitebeard,
as he can fight Kaido, another Yonko, and it's said that when the Yonkos fight, it's not gonna be an easy battle regardless of the outcome. And the One Piece world, at best, in my opinion, is the size of a small star, which if we take at face value, he would be in that tier. So
okay, so saying the One Piece planet is a star and just automatically scanning at the star doesn't make you solo, because the One Piece planet doesn't actually contain the star's properties, which makes it qualify. If you destroy the star, you also destroy the star properties. And the One Piece world is just a giant Earth. The size doesn't really matters about the properties that are formed.
So I'd say Luffy is more than likely in that large
not
planet
star,
to
but
maybe
planetary at most, at best.
Power. And in Naruto's case, we have half of the Nine Tails supposedly having enough power to destroy the world, and obviously not only could Naruto harness the full half of the Nine Tails, but even another half after the war, and he also has 6 Paths Sage Mode, which on its own is just tiers above the Nine Tails in power. Body slams Momoshiki,
God
able to absorb the stars and celestial bodies.
Oh, he's still cooking. He's cooking right now.
As for the last member of the big three we haven't discussed about, that being Ichigo, I mainly use a calc from the Bleach movie that Ichigo would power cliff hundreds of times over, but...
Quick little side quest. Who y'all think is winning? Ichigo, Naruto, and Luffy in a free-for-all? Who y'all got coming out on top? Y'all let me know in the comments.
I don't really think that's necessary.
We got to the conclusion
Instead,
of this video,
I'll just
say,
like Naruto and Luffy, he's around that Planet 2 star level tier.
Ichigo's
from being
a little bit higher,
who can
like
destroy the entire
solar system
society within a very short amount of time. This same Soul Society containing dozens of stars, and Ichigo would go on to cliff him and the verse aside from Yuhan pretty badly. So all 3 members have scaling that can put them in that star level tier of power.
Okay.
But what about their speed? Well, funny enough, I do believe all 3 fighters are in a similar tier of speed as well.
I agree. I
won't get into specifics because that's not the point of this battle, but just know all 3 at the very least should be combating and reaching at speeds faster than the speed of light.
Which is faster than Gojo.
Not traveling at the speed of light like half of you motherfuckers get confused. I mean combat and react at the speed of light. Luffy, Naruto, and Ichigo have all evaded light speed attacks before their big transformations, or even when the power cliffing began in their respective series.
Okay.
Because funnily enough, all 3 verses have crazy power cliffs around the later parts of the series.
That's facts.
So given their transformations and multipliers of said transformations, they should all be faster than light. As for their abilities, Luffy's main notable ones are Gear 5's Twin Force power, his advanced Haki that allows him to negate durability, hit through defenses without even touching his opponent, and see into the future. Blunt attacks for the most part don't work on him due to his body being made of rubber, and Luffy himself in Gear 5 can grab intangible things like lightning, and if opponents are far weaker than Luffy, then he could just flex his Conqueror's aura and knock him out. As for Naruto, well, his main ability is pretty much...
Nah, if you're actually a side character in One Piece, you get knocked out by a nigga's presence. Boom, I'm gone, bro. I don't even want to be living no more if I get knocked out by your presence, though. I'm not even a man.
Consist of him jumping his opponent with Shadow Clones, Spam Rasengan, and Roshan Shuriken, which ignore durability. And that's about it. But he has shown the ability to use things like Magnet and Lava Release, which would allow him to incapacitate his opponents, along with having things like Precog with Sage Mode, can resist Mind Hacks, Regeneration, and other chicken nugget things like having all 5 basic chakra natures. He does have a lot of other crazy abilities, but these are the main ones to know. And Ichigo, well, he has Getsuga Tensho and can affect your soul on an atomic level, and has Getsuga Tensho and can affect your soul on an atomic level. Seriously though, that's all about you really need to say for Ichigo.
Well, okay, that's all you need to say, but he has more than the Quincy powers, the Hollow powers, the Soul Reaper powers. He has all those stacks upon him, but I guess I just wanted to get that point out, I guess. I don't know.
Oh, and all 3 can fly like Gojo, which is kind of cool, I guess. Now, as for how the fight would go, regardless of Gojo's opponent, it really doesn't matter. Not only does Gojo get completely outclassed here in stats by all 3 of the members of the Big 3, but all 3 also have a way to beat Gojo. And like Gojo, they don't even have to touch him. You see, if Gojo were to try and attack Luffy and Ichigo, if they were to just flex their spirit aura, they pretty much just crumple Gojo on the spot.
Okay, the strength gap between Gojo and the characters are not that deep. I mean, not that far that Gojo's going to be knocked out. The estimation right now is kind of mid. I'm not gonna lie. Like I agree. Most of these characters are Naruto, Luffy, and Ichigo are beating Gojo, but he's not explaining it right.
Luffy would do it with Conquerors, while Ichigo would just do it with spiritual pressure.
Nah,
meanwhile, Naruto can harm Gojo by using Frog Kata, as it allows Naruto to freely manipulate nature energy, which is just energy all around Naruto. So it would be just him throwing a punch like how he did in the Pain Saga, only now it would just one-shot Gojo.
That's not how Infinity works. Infinity stops anything that's going to harm Gojo and stops it. There's an infinite distance between them. So in order to hit Gojo, you have to use an ability that does not have speed and does not travel, because if it travels, it can be stopped because there's an infinite distance. But if you throw something that cannot travel, then you're good.
He's not fast enough to get his domain off, and even if he somehow gets off Hollow Purple,
But even if that said, Gojo is definitely not touching any of these characters, but really it's how the characters are going to beat Gojo is the real question. The fight is going on forever, but it's really how the characters can beat Gojo.
Naruto and Ichigo can just smack that away, while Luffy would just leave this with his future sight and hit Gojo with an advanced Conqueror's Punch. Gojo unironically loses to 2 out of the 3 members by shitting himself, while the other one just uppercuts the air and one-shot.
The whole video was wrong, okay? His explanation is wrong. You're not knocking out Gojo with his spiritual pressure. Just only shown to knock out people who are extremely weak, like the low-class side characters, okay? That's just flawed. You have to use an ability that does not travel.
Kind of mess my explanation again. Basically, if you don't have an ability that doesn't travel, then you're basically screwed. Or if you don't have anything to seal them with, you're basically screwed. Or you have to have existence erasure, which basically erases them from existence. If you have those 3 qualifications, you should be good to be Gojo. Which Naruto and Ichigo have, but Luffy, he might not have.
I'm sorry for the Jujutsu Kaisen fans who came to this video thinking that Gojo was just gonna be universal, have inaccessible speed, and just body slam all 3 of them.
Okay, the video was wrong, so we just lost our own argument, but at the end of the day, they all do beat Gojo.